following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
14:20 in the morning, 14 minutes and 20 seconds where the sports talk to get you through your daily commute. Hot takes, recaps, best bets, and a little humor to get your day going in the right direction. Sit back, grab your coffee, and let's get into it. All right, 14:20 in the morning, something a little bit different every Friday throughout the baseball season. I will be reviewing the week that was in Yankee land. I might get a different opening or something there for our people watching on YouTube and Facebook Live, but we'll worry about that a little bit later. But yeah, the Yankee week in review today is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today for $20 off your first purchase of tickets to shows, events, games, whatever you want to go to, concerts, whatever you may be throughout the baseball season. We're doing this on Facebook, talking about some Yankee baseball every day. Every Friday we'll do this because I know you guys don't want to hear me blab about the Yankees all the time, because I would if you all let me. Anyways, the week that was in Yankee land, they went 4-2 at 161st and River in the Bronx. A good start to the season, not a great start to the season. There are a few question marks that came out of the opening weekend that we'll get to in a second, but a 4-2 record nonetheless is better than being 2-4. We talk about that. Winning games often and early is very important because they can get late early, as the great Yogi Berra once said. 4-2 is good. That will translate to the way it works out to 108-54 record, if that's the way the math worked in the baseball world, but it doesn't ever work out that way. A good season, a good start to the season. Garrett Cole did what he had to do in his two starts, 19 strikeouts over two, gave up one earned run. He wasn't even actually on the field when that run was given up, but he was really good. I would rather see a lot more ground ball outs and strikeouts, because you like to see guys not throw so often. We talked about that yesterday on 14:20 in the morning, but the outs, that's the way the game's played nowadays. The strikeouts are high. Like he's 19 strikeouts. He did what he had to do. Walks were a little bit high. I think the very first batter he faced of the season last Thursday in against the San Francisco Giants, I think it was a 4-pitch walk, and he got a little bit worried. But anyways, that happens. Not a big deal. But a good start by Cole. In each of his first two outings, went 6 in the third and 6 in the two outs. So he's an innings eater. He's a horse out there. Is he is he the ace everybody projects him to be? I still have my doubts, and I don't know what the reasoning is. I can't pinpoint it for whatever reason. I have no idea. Maybe it's just the pessimistic Yankee fan in me, where you just expect him to start giving up home runs as he does at Yankee Stadium with the short porch out there in right field. But like I said, he did what he had to do in his two starts. You hope that he can keep doing that throughout the season and rack up wins. And actually, wins and losses aren't even a thing for starting pitchers. They're inning eaters more than anything nowadays with the way the game's played. Nestor Cortez, he went out there in his one start, no walks, and that's huge. He picked up where he left off last season. You kind of expect him to take a step back. I don't know if he will, but like a journeyman pitcher, the way he's only been around 6 years, but you got to think that he's going to not have the all-star season he had last year. I hope he does, but you got to, once again, the pessimistic Yankee fan in me is saying that Cortez will take a step back, but he got the win last week in his one start, and that was really good to see. And he's pitching well, and he's a strong pitcher. He puts the ball in play, which you like to see, and he doesn't get too flustered out there. And he's a soothing, calming influence on the mound. He doesn't seem to be too revved up. But this is where things get a little bit dicey in Yankee land for me. It's lipstick on a pig with those first two guys going. You know you're going to get something out of that, but they got a surprise start out of Johnny Brito, which was nice to see last Sunday, to win the third game of the 3-game set with the Giants. He went out there, an unsuspected starter brought him up from the minors, and then the 40-man and all that stuff that goes on. But we knew that there would be problems with the back half of the rotation with Luis Severino and Carlos Rodon out for the foreseeable future for the first month of the season anyways. So getting that start out of Brito was a pleasant surprise, and that's where you're going to have problems, I think, with this Yankee team early in the season, where you really want to rack up wins when you might not get them later on as the season progresses. As you see Tampa Bay, they've started off, I think, 6 or 7-0, whatever it is. And you don't want to lose ground too much, because it can get late early. Like I said, you want to rack up wins, and you have a pitching staff that's a little banged up right now, and having guys like Domingo Germán and Clark Schmidt. I think Schmidt's going later on today for the Yankees at Camden Yards in Baltimore, with a very good Baltimore club right now that's should be have a better record than they do. But the can of corn we talked about with Aaron the other night on Brutally Honest Sports. If you haven't checked out that show, make sure you guys check it out. I might have got a little bit rough on Mr. Mike Trout. Maybe I'll apologize to Trout if he ever shows me anything. But that's another story for another day. But we got exactly what we thought we were going to get out of Herman and out of Schmidt. Herman's been a bit of a wild card. There's days where he's electric on the mound. There's days where he does stuff. You're like, okay, this guy's ready to take the next step. But then he has a start like he did the other day, which is not good enough. He has his off the field issues that we've talked about here on the 1420 podcast. We've talked about throughout the Yankee fans and baseball fans know about the situation he had in New York City a couple of years ago. But it's too bad that he got in that situation, because we remember that forever, no matter what you do. But it is concerning about the start. And then Schmidt going today, I don't think Schmidt's that good. He wouldn't be in a starter position if it wasn't for those two injuries that I mentioned earlier. And Schmidt's going today, so he's got to have a bit of a bounce back. Expect him to have a bit of a shorter leash today, and that bullpen's going to see a little bit more action. And the bullpen was good. Like I'm quite concerned with the closing situation. I don't like it at all. I think it's a problem that they're going to have throughout the whole season. I would rather see them have Domingo Herman out there as the closer. I don't know how good Clay Holmes is. I would like Holmes scares me a lot. When I had the guys from the Pesky Report on during the baseball tour, he asked me, Brady asked me who the closer was going to be for the New York Yankees, and I said, man, I hope it was Mariano Rivera. And it's hard to believe it's been 10 years since Mariano's pitched out there in the Bronx, but the closing situation really scares me. I don't know how good he is. I don't know how much faith you can put in Holmes. You expect to see guys like Ron Marinaccio. Marinaccio had a good outing. He's a great, solid young pitcher. He'll go out there, eat up innings, strike some guys out. He seems very calm out there for the young age that he is. And you can't forget about Wandy Peralta. Peralta comes out of nowhere. He's sneaky good. You don't expect him to be as good as he is, but he comes out and he gets outs, and he gets ground balls, and he gets guys out of situations. I quite like Peralta. He'll go in for a couple of batters here and there, and get guys out of jams. I quite like how Peralta is. But the guy that I would really look out for this season for the Yankees, and he had a good start to his season, is Johnny Lasagna. Loizaga, I know that, everybody. Johnny Lasagna, as he's known to Yankee fans, he's great. He had a good start to his season. He's always been solid. I'd expect to see him to move into the closer role. I'd like to see him in there, give him a few chances, because it is definitely a tougher situation when you're out there doing that. It's tough to see a guy like to go out there and be a closer, but give a guy a lot of starts early, maybe against the Orioles this weekend. We'll get to what my predictions are going to be for the upcoming week for the Yankees. But if you're in a situation where you can have a win and get your guys going a little bit, I think it's very important that they get out there and they do that. There it is. Josh Donaldson for MVP, as our friend from Brutally Honest Aaron Sports, Brutally Honest Sports said. It's going to be interesting to see how the Yankees season goes from this week. They're like I said, they're 4-2. There's some issues on the offensive side of the ball. They're swinging the bat pretty well. You Gleyber Torres, I think they got to play him. For some reason, Torres is always the subject of trade rumors, and I do not understand as to why. Gleyber Torres should be a staple at second base. Play him every day. Give him the odd day off here and there for the maintenance days, I guess is what all the cool kids are calling it now. But Gleyber Torres has to play. Why he's a subject of trade rumors is beyond me. I know that they're under team control for a certain time, and he's going to be free agent and everything else. Going to want to raise, but you also have a situation right now with Gleyber Torres where he is playing really well, and you have a situation with the New York Yankees that you paid Aaron Judge a lot of money. You have paid Garrett Cole a lot of money. Stanton is getting a lot of money. Yes, Josh Donaldson is this year, and thank God he's hurt. I shouldn't say that about anybody's health and well-being, but it's true. The thing I like about Gleyber Torres, he's out there playing hard for him, for the team, and he's stolen 5 bases as well, so that helps. So why the Yankees are talking about trading a guy like Torres doesn't make sense when your championship window is right now. Having the best team possible is the most important thing you could do when you're paying those guys that much money. You're not just paying guys to fill the stadium. You're paying the guys to win. And trading off an asset like Gleyber Torres makes zero sense to me that you would do that in a win now, championship win now season. This isn't the fucking Texas Rangers or whoever, or the Chicago Cubs. This isn't the Milwaukee Brewers. You're in win now mode. So with the Yankees, keep Torres. Do not trade him just to get fucking prospects in there. I'm not a prospect hugger at all. I never have been. I never will be. You look at Anthony Volpe, who's off to a very rough start, a little hitting 167 or 176 below the Mendoza line, whatever it is. Like you got to think that having too many prospects in a lineup where you're paying these guys good money to win in a win now mode. Keep Torres in the lineup. You got to get him going. You got to keep him going. He has a couple of home runs, I think 6 RBIs, but those 5 stolen bases with the new rules, he's taking advantage of that. I suspect that will slow down a little bit. You can't expect Gleyber Torres, after he's got 5 stolen bases in the 6 games, you can't expect him to have 150 stolen bases. That's only Ricky Henderson that land. But I would keep Torres. There's no doubt about that. Keep him in the lineup. Keep him going. And just keep it going until he doesn't have anywhere else to go. The problem you got is on the left side of the infield, where the president of the Josh Donaldson fan club, Josh Donaldson, now has a hamstring injury. You don't know how long those can last. I mean, he had problems with that wheel last year, but his bat has already been bad this year, and everything else. He's been good defensively, but you know what? I don't care. You need to score runs. The Yankees are very top heavy, and it's a bit of a lipstick on a pig situation where they have nothing going on in left field. Cabrera, he's okay. He does his job a little bit, but Aaron Judge, I think he's kind of he's got the 2 home runs, but he also has 10 strikeouts, and that scares me to have that many strikeouts this early in this feast or famine situation that you get in. He's not going to see the pitches he saw last year, and to be at 10 strikeouts already. I should actually mention that Aaron Judge, his first at bat this season after his new contract, first swing, I think it's actually his first swing, he went to deep center field with a home run. So that was good to see. But if I hear one more time about the captain of the New York Yankees, I'm going to puke. Captains aren't for baseball. It's stupid. It's actually the stupidest thing. And I know I've been on a rant about that before, but I'm so sick of hearing this captain of the New York Yankees. It's ridiculous, but we'll focus on the positive. The Yankees are 4-2. Donaldson's out. Oswaldo Cabrera's been okay. What are they going to do at third base with Donaldson? Donaldson out. I think you'll see DJ LeMahieu get more at bats and play over there. I hope they don't decide to put IKF out over there, because he still can't hit. I don't think he has a hit yet this season in the 4. I think he's appeared in 3 or 4 games. He's been terrible. So the left side of the infield, which we had the Yankee fans, I shouldn't say I don't get paid by the Yankees, or am I on their payroll, or do I play? But the left side of the infield for the Yankees has been a question mark throughout the offseason, and it's glaring its ugly head right now. You don't know what they're going to do over there. I would put DJ over there. He seems to have his foot injuries from last season on the mend right now. I know it's early, but you know what? Every game matters no matter what. And having DJ as a calming influence over there, playing solid defense. He's hitting the ball. He got a home run on Wednesday versus Philadelphia, putting bat to ball. He could have had 2 or 3 if on a warmer night in the Bronx. Those were probably going to lead. But on the cold nights in the Bronx, you got to think that he's going to have a way better season. There it is, Aaron. He's probably going to be tuning into the Orioles-Yankees game, as I am later on today. He's scared of Gleyber Torres killing the Orioles, as per usual. As you guys can see on the screen here, who's watching on YouTube Live, the one season he had 20 bombs against them. I think it was actually more like 25, Aaron. It was one of those situations where Torres did kill the Orioles single-handedly. He had a great season. I expect a lot to happen. The catching position, Trevino's been okay, but it's a very top-heavy, and there's been a lot of lipstick on this pig of a season that's been the New York Yankees so far. But a 4-2 record, you take them. You can only play the games that or win the games that you play, and everything else goes okay. And you look back a little bit, you don't care how you got your wins, you just care that you got some wins, right? They don't ask how, they ask how many when it all comes down to it. Expect Judge to play a little bit better, to hit a little bit better. He can't strike out as much as he can. And you have a situation also, what are they going to do with Aaron Hicks? Do you keep him in a lineup? He can't hit his ass. He can't do anything out there, and he's kind of complaining about the boo birds, and he wants playing time but he hasn't had a chance to get at bats, because when he does get at bats, he strikes out. Do you give him at bats so you can showcase him for trade bait? Who knows what you can do with a guy like Aaron Hicks? Hicks has never played up to his contract his entire time he's been there. He's had one good game in his Yankee history, to my recollection. I was there. It was in July of 2018, where he hit 3 bombs against the Boston Red Sox on July 1st, 2018. It was quite the day in the Bronx. It was a Sunday night baseball game against the Red Sox. So it was a great game to be at. But since then, Hicks hasn't done a thing before that, and hasn't done a thing after that. And at $10 million a year, it's a tough look for the New York Yankees. Anyways, the Yankees this week, they have 3 games Three starting today with Baltimore. I expect the Yankees to win two of those three, and a much improved, a very good Baltimore team that can do some damage, that could have a better record than they do right now. But I expect the Yankees to win 2 out of 3 this weekend. I expect one of those things. I don't know why there was a rain out yesterday. Apparently the weather was fantastic out that way in the East Coast. They a little bit of a premature ejaculation, canceling game, and the Mets are going to Met. They canceled their game, and I guess it was a beautiful day in New York City. They should have played the game and everything else. The guys from the Michael K show are ranting and raving about that a little bit. But Yankees win 2 out of 3 over the weekend is my prediction. Then they're going to lose 2 out of 3 to a very good Cleveland team that can really pitch, and the sores of the Yankee lineup are going to be really shown against the Cleveland Indians, because they're going to strike out a lot, and they're going to have their situation. And then next Thursday, I expect the Yankees to beat the Minnesota Twins in the one game before of the 4-game set, and that's going to be the week that was in Yankee land. Mark it down, book it right there. The Yankees will be 8-5 this time next week when we do our next Yankee roundup. That's what their record is going to be. 8-5 is okay. You'd rather be 9-4. 10-3, but I don't see that happening. I expect them to lose three games this week. It's just kind of the way things are going to rack up. Anyways, on this day in Yankee history, in 1997, Andy Pettitte outdueled Mark Langston, and Mariano Rivera picked up his second save of the season as the New York Yankees defeated the Anaheim Angels 5-3 in front of a whopping 16,514 fans in Anaheim at the Big A. Some kid named Jeter led the way, going 3 for 3 with 2 walks and scored 2 runs, and pushed the Yankees record to 3-3 on the season. And happy Yankee birthday. This one was an obscure one. I couldn't find anything more relevant, but happy Yankee birthday too. Brett Tomko, born on this day 50 years ago in Columbus, Ohio. Tomko appeared in 15 games in the World Series season of 2009, with the Yankees going 1-2 with a 5.23 RA in his 15 appearances for the Yankees. There it is. Every Friday we'll be doing these Yankee updates. I'm going to get a little different graphic, a little different opening there for the show, but it's going to do this throughout the season. Talk some Yankee baseball, because not everybody wants to hear me blab my yap about the Yankees all year long on 1420 in the morning. It's so one of those things. Check out our show that we did with Aaron from Brutally Honest Sports on Wednesday night. Some great talk about some guy named Mike Trout, how he's a chicken shit and the like. So it was a great time talking some baseball with Aaron on Wednesday. Make sure you check out Brutally Honest Sports. A lot of great content on there. They're getting a lot of other things going on as well. Facebook page is up and running now, and getting more stuff out there on YouTube as well. On that note, do what the little guy says right there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today. Get us push that 1,000 subscriber mark. Then it becomes a financial thing. We'll talk about that another day. But anyways, guys, let's go Yankees. Let's have a great weekend. Enjoy the Good Friday. Enjoy the long weekend. Enjoy the holidays. Have a good Easter. And remember, it doesn't matter where you are. It's who you're with. Go Yankees. Just listen to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network.